Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Gonna read through pretty much the full article here. It's extremely grim, so I'm giving you the highest level trigger warning possible. Don't watch this video if the subject matter is too distressing for you. In fact, go and do something more pleasant. One suggestion that I have is having a look at the friends of the channel on this channel. In particular, at the end of the day, Bella does some nice YouTube live streams, normally for about an hour, 2 hours or so. Normally chit-chatting about this and that, bit of this, bit of that, and it's a nice, kind community, and it can help you take your mind away from such grim matters. But I am going to be reading through the full article here. So, extreme trigger warning is in place. The headline tells us that a trial begins for a youth football coach accused of raping and killing his 10-month-old daughter. All right, so I do question whether or not I should read through this article because of the SA, the sexual abuse, the R. So I do question whether or not I should go through it, but I'm going to because I think it's good to have an awareness of the horrificness that goes on in the world outside of what's going on in with war in the Ukraine and Russia at the moment. Outside of that, just in normal everyday life, this kind of insane, heinous, evil, demonic behavior occurs, regrettably. So it's good to have an awareness of that, and I feel that it would perhaps be wrong of me to skip over these topics merely due to their extreme unpleasantness. So anyway, I'm interested in your thoughts, if you agree with that logic or not, those reasonings or not. More than happy to hear that. But we're going to read through the full details. Extreme trigger warning is in play. The trial for a Pennsylvanian scumbag accused of killing and raping his infant daughter during a custody visit began on Monday in a Montgomery courtroom, Philadelphia. The prosecution said during opening statements that 31-year-old Austin Stevens tried to cover up his crimes after his daughter, 10-month-old Zara Scruggs, became unresponsive while in his care. You might not want to believe it, he tried to hide it, but that's what the evidence in this case will show, the assistant district attorney said during opening statements. Here's a quote from the assistant district attorney. "This case is not about a parent who panicked. Zara is dead because of the deliberate choices that a man made. Everything he did was deliberate and intentional." The scumbag's defense lawyer argued that there are no witnesses to back up the accusations, adding that the scumbag had no motive to murder his own daughter. Here's a quote from the defense lawyer. "It's easy to hear a powerful opening statement and it's easy to rush to judgment. Please be patient and listen to the evidence." Well, we will listen to some of the evidence that's presented in this article, and we will make up our own minds as best we can. But thankfully, there's a trial going ahead, and all of this evidence has been laid out in front of the trial. The trial has the opportunity to make a fully educated judgment in this case. And here is the scumbag in question, Austin Stevens. Austin Stevens, a former assistant youth coach for Lower Providence Warriors, was arrested following the incident on October the 3rd, 2020. According to the prosecutor, who's Steele? Sorry, yeah, who's Steele? Hang on one second. Okay, I don't know who Steele is. I've double checked. It doesn't tell us. According to Steele, Zara was at Stephen's residence when a 911 call was placed. At around 10:40 p.m., responding officers who arrived at the home, trigger warning, found the baby unresponsive in a blood-saturated diaper. First responders rushed Zara, the baby, to the Einstein Medical Center in Montgomery County, where she was pronounced dead. Trigger warning, the bloody diaper was handed over to the authorities, who later said the baby showed signs of sexual assault. Stevens, this absolute evil scumbag piece of shit, had a joint custody agreement with Zara's mother, and he had recently moved to his own home off of the 3400 block of Germantown Pike in Lower Providence Township. Zara, the baby, was alone with the scumbag during his visitation time when the incident occurred. After the baby's death, investigators obtained a search warrant for the scumbag's phone, which had the following search queries. What if you don't hear a baby heart or heartbeat? My baby isn't breathing. How do you know if a baby is dead? If baby stops breathing. So, I mean, pretty damning evidence, I would think. Zara's autopsy indicated that she was not only sexually abused, but had blunt force trauma to her head. Here's a quote. The coroner's office, ruling that the 10-month-old's baby was homicide, confirms what our investigation showed. Zara died a deeply disturbing death at the hands of her father. The scumbag will have to answer to murder charges. I'm not sure who said that, if that was one of the investigators or the prosecutor. I'm not sure. During an interview between investigators and the scumbag, the suspect reportedly claimed that he left his daughter briefly in the bathtub whilst he went to the kitchen. The scumbag allegedly said he heard a bang and went to the bathroom and noticed his daughter had bumped her head. I don't believe it for a second. I don't believe it for a second, you evil, fucking, sick, twisted scumbag, murdering, pedophile piece of shit. Don't believe it for a second. Thankfully, nor will the jury. The scumbag said he removed Zara from the bathtub, placed a towel around her, and while placing her on a bed, noticed that her head fell back. He said he dialed 911 and immediately started CPR. Detectives, however, said that the scumbag's internet searches occurred before he called 911. The scumbag later admitted he panicked and made the internet searches. He also admitted to chatting with two females on Instagram and never mentioning anything about Zara. Okay, so seemingly he's just committed murder of his own child and then goes chatting on Instagram, if I'm understanding that correctly. The messaging content did not discuss anything in regards to Zara or her need for emergency care. The scumbag was subsequently arrested and charged with rape of a child, involuntary deviant sexual intercourse, aggravated indecent assault, aggravated assault, and endangering the welfare of a child. Murder charges were later added after the baby's death. The trial continues and should last several days. So I just hope that the trial continues. Of course it will, thankfully. Let's hope that this scumbag gets exactly what's coming to him. I would like that to be the death penalty, should he be found guilty by the trial. I want to know if Pennsylvania has the death penalty. Looks like they don't. There's been no execution. Oh, okay. Despite remaining a legal penalty, there have been no executions in Pennsylvania since 1999. So there's a formal moratorium on executions, which is still in place, seemingly. Which is a shame, Pennsylvania. Revoke that moratorium on executions. This guy deserves to be executed, presuming that he is found guilty by a trial, by a jury of his peers. I believe he will be. If the death penalty cannot be resurrected, which I presume it won't be, let's hope that he gets life imprisonment, or at the very, very least, an extremely long time in jail. Life imprisonment. There should be no excuses not to give this scumbag life imprisonment. And let's hope that every now and then he gets released in general population, and that the other inmates, at whichever facility he's housed in, let's hope that the other inmates get to give him a nice warm greeting and get to express their feelings on the fact that should he be convicted of murdering and raping his own 10-month-old daughter, let's hope the other inmates can express their feelings in regards to that. Yeah, let's see if the other inmates can show you what they think about you raping and killing your own 10-month-old daughter. Zara Scruggs. So what a fucking disgusting piece of shit. What a shame. Our thoughts, our prayers go out to the family, the mother, the extended family. And we just hope that this fucking scumbag gets exactly what he deserves. A lot of pain, a lot of suffering. Yeah, let's... Inmates, if you get the opportunity, do your thing.